Hey gang, we're in here. Welcome on back to the Cade and another episode of Suckerpunch Sunday. And for this week, considering we've been struggling to find some games that we could play on later consoles, we're going to go back now 31 years to 1993 and the Sega Genesis, and we're going to play Disney's Aladdin. Hello Aladdin, welcome to the show. Can we call you Al or maybe just Dan? Or how about Lottie? This game actually has a really interesting history with it because this version of it came out in October of 1993 on the Sega Genesis or MegaDrive, but it is not the same game that was released a month later on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. This game was created by Virgin Interactive, whereas the Sega Genesis, or the Super Nintendo version, was released and created by Capcom. And because of that, there's been a lot of distinction over the years that they are the same game, when in actuality, they aren't. Now, why are we playing this particular version of the game? Because this is the one I'm familiar with, having had a sibling who had a Sega Genesis when I was a kid, but again, like I said many times, I didn't have a Super Nintendo. So, this is the one that I am gonna give a whirl to today. But, when you look at these games side by side, even though there are distinctions between the two, whereas this game is more of your standard fun 2D side-scrolling platforming action game. The Super Nintendo version isn't that much different. It's got more puzzles to it, and the main distinction between the two is that Aladdin in this game has a scimitar as a weapon that he can use, that you use by hitting the C button, and then you can throw apples by hitting the A button, and your B button is to jump. Now, I'm going to pause this really quick just so the music doesn't get us carried away. But if you look up in the top corner, and actually you can't see it now, so I'll let it run. But in the top corner, the smoke coming out of the genie's lantern, that is your life bar. So when the smoke goes away, you are toast. And then you have apples you can throw, which are a little bit... There we go. Whoa. Not what I wanted to do. Ah, hot foot. There we go. Go there, pick up some apples. So, if you think about it in terms of almost like Legend of Zelda, the apples can stun the guards. The gems you want if I remember right, the gems help you boost up your bonus capabilities. Okay, so when you hit the vase, that is your halfway spot. Oof. And I already got knocked out. So, let's try this again. So we start here at the halfway point. So you can either go 2 apples, or 2 swings of the sword. And if you can meet the swings, that's basically the same way as parrying. And we have the next checkpoint. The black lamps clear out all the enemies. Alright, can I get Abu from up there? Oh, that's right. Go that way, pick up Abu. Now I can buy a wish, or I can buy an extra guy. I'm gonna buy an extra guy. And we make it through the level. So, I mean, this game, in similar ways to, like, Earthworm Jim, which we played a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Now I remember why we get all the genie tokens. And that's okay, because if we get Jafar on the last one, we lose. So now we get the bonus level. And the bonus level is, we've got to do stuff with Abu. We have to avoid him getting hit in the head. Because as soon as he gets bonked, then it's try over. But we picked up 7 more gems, or picked up 4 more gems. So now we gotta make our way through the desert to the Cave of Wonders. Now this game went on to become one of the best-selling Genesis games of all time, with more than 4 million copies sold. And it was later ported to the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color, the Amiga, the DOS computers, and even the Nintendo Entertainment System got a version of this particular game, which I find interesting because it had been released in competition with Capcom version for the Super Nintendo. So pick up some more apples. That didn't do me any. Ow! There we go. I'm almost dead already. Well, luckily we hit. Oh, don't! We got the checkpoint. We gotta work our way over. Now, one of the things I always did like about this game is the graphics in it. I think this is one of the best graphic games in terms of color and presentation that I've seen out of the 16-bit era by a long way. I love how vibrant the colors are. I like that Aladdin looks like Aladdin and that Apu looks like Apu. Ow. Okay, we got the first half of the scarab. And there's the second half. And we hit the checkpoint. But that's as far as we got. Now, to be fair, I used to be a lot better at this game like I was at most of these games because I played it so often. I've never been able to finish the Super Nintendo version of this game. But I've actually beaten I've beaten this version over a couple of times. And one of the things that was always talked about over the years was this game was a lot harder than people assume it was. And there is a couple of levels that are particularly tricky. So now we're back in the Agrabah rooftops. And we've got to find the flutes. There's the first one. And then up we go. But as you can see, this isn't a... While there is enough of a challenge here, it's not so super difficult, but you gotta know what you're doing. Alright, head down this side. We got lucky there, we got the lamp. And with the checkpoint, grab that flute. Ah! was right there. Alright, we'll head up this way again. Now, because the Genesis only has 3 buttons, as opposed to the Super NES, which had 4, it is, in theory, a little bit easier to negotiate, but... Whoop. Come on. Alright, we hit that checkpoint. We get a little bit of a life boost there. Hit this checkpoint. Then poke him right there in the corner. And get the flute. And we gotta pick up a whole bunch of stuff. That couldn't have gone any worse. Now we're kind of in a Donkey Kong deal here. But we got through it. Now, GamePro magazine named Aladdin the best Genesis game of 1993. Oh, that sucked. And Mega Magazine placed it at number 12 of their top Mega Drive games of all time. In 1995, Flux Magazine rated 13th in their top 100 video games of all consoles of all time, praising the smooth animation, detail, and gameplay, and saying that Disney's Aladdin for the Genesis is one of the best action platform games in history. In the same year, MegaZone included the game in their top 50 games in history, summarizing, quote, "The animation in this platformer is simply astounding and looks more like a cartoon than a video game." In 2009, GamesRadar ranked the game 4th on their list of the 7 best Disney games, comparing it to the Super NES game, while the SNES Aladdin fell back on the faux 3D shading and single pixel button eyes. The Genesis version looks infinitely more fluid and expressive. And in 2017, GamesRadar ranked Aladdin 18th on the best Genesis Mega Drive games of all time. The only review that I could find that gave it a fairly lackluster score was PC Zone, who gave it a 70%. But that was for the PC port of it. The Genesis version ranked between a B and an A to a high A in pretty much every major review at the time. Now, like I said, the Super Nintendo version, by comparison, garnered equal ratings. Game Rankings, the aggregate for the Super NES version is still at 78%, and the reviews for that game range between 30 out of 40 to about 90 to 92%. So really, with a game like this, it totally comes down to your personal preference. Alright, so there's a bat up there, there's a dog with a key, and we've got these 2 traps. And then avoid these swinging balls. Ah! Come on, Aladdin. Work with me, Al. If you look up, there's poor Sebastian put into the wall. The number of Easter eggs in games like this was always fun. But really, until there was a comparable version of Prince of Persia that came along, for a lot of us, this was like our version of Prince of Persia. With a character we liked more. Now, Al, why can't you get up there? That's really annoying. Al. You should be able to get up there. Why can you not now? Alright, that's annoying as all get out. Well, while I'm here, I might as well try and go get that genie coin. Ah. There. Now, come back up here. There. That was really bothersome. Come on. There, and we hit the checkpoint. That's good. This way. We're almost dead. Now we hit the patience part of this level. Ow. There. Shall buy a wish. And I can buy another guy. Which is good, because I died right there. Now, if I remember right, the wishes are continues. Once you run out of wishes, that's it. No substitutions, exchanges, or refunds. Ah! Damn it, Al. And like most people my age, when Aladdin came out in the theaters in 1992, we flooded to see it. In no small part because it had Robin Williams as the genie, the late, great Robin Williams, which it pains me to still have to say that. Because he should still be around. And you might notice that some of the skeletons in the background have mouse ears on them. Okay, so we go this way now. Hit that checkpoint. Seriously, dude? You're right here and I can't put you down. Jerk. May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your unmentionables drawer. Okay, we're at this checkpoint. Keep him from blowing up. That's good. Oh! Alright, so we'll give it one more whirl. At that checkpoint. Avoid the spikes. Let's see what's up this way. Ah! So I gotta go up this way. And basically, if you give yourself a 3 count on the bricks, they should... Ah! Crap! I fell all the way back down. Come on, Al. Oh, are you kidding? Diamond in the rough, my behind. Why is that brick not allowing me to stand on it? Yeah, that brick is broken. Okay. Picked up 4 gems. No! I went all the way back down. Oh my god. That sucked. And that's one of the frustrating things about games like this. And it was frustrating then, and it's frustrating now. Okay. And we make it out. And we're at a half an hour, so we might as well call this one good. But let's see what I would have gotten, because I have 7. Oh, and I whiffed. So now we would go back. So now we're in the desert, or no, we're in the Cave of Wonders to go get the lamp. And this is where it leads to the most frustrating part of this game, is that once you get the lamp, you've got to get out of the cave with the rug. So you're on the flying carpet, and it is a matter of dodging obstacles that are falling in your path as a giant wave of lava is coming at you. Now, this is a game that you could beat in a day if you really put in the time and the effort to do it. I would say that of the two, I believe this game is more forgiving than the Super NES version, because you get that mini game at the end, and if you have a mini game at the end of the Super NES version, by all means let me know. I don't remember there being one, but this allowed you to have a little bit more flexibility in how you played, and because there's not a timer, and because I was kind of trying to speed run through this for time, you can be a little bit more methodical, and you can be a little bit more tactical in how you want to approach each level. Because you have a scimitar and you've got the apples, it gives you a little bit more freedom in terms of how you want to deal with the guards and other enemies that get in your way. Then it's simply a matter of timing jumps, making sure you land in the right spots, picking up the right things, and going from there. That's one thing about this particular level, is that if you, as you're going through, if you miss and you land in the water, that's an automatic life over. So it is very challenging, and even 30 years on, it's a game that will try your dexterity as a platformer, and also will be a bit frustrating at times. Like, I remember hearing that the lava level in this game was long considered one of the most frustrating and seemingly impossible levels ever put in games. And that includes games like Battletoads, which had a similar level, but was exponentially more frustrating, at least in my experience with it. I never really had a problem with this game, only because once you understood the basic pattern recognition of things like that level, once you got it down to memory, it was simply a matter of just knowing which direction to be in, up or down, as you're zipping through this cavern on a flying carpet that's doing Mach speed to try and keep you from turning into a charcoal briquette. Is this a good game? Yes. And I would probably argue that the Super Nintendo version, again, based on the reviews, is just as good. It really comes down to, I think, what your matter of preference is and what your history with the consoles are. At some point, I probably will go back and we will do, and I may do this next week, in fact, just to give it an equal time, is to go and play the Super Nintendo version of this game and see what the differences are. Because again, I didn't have a Super Nintendo growing up, so my frame of reference was limited to this version only. But of the many, many, many Genesis games I have in my catalog, Aladdin is still up there as one of the ones I still like to go back and play every so often. In part because of the gameplay, in part because of the ability to get through it in, like I said, you could probably beat it in about 2 hours if you really wanted to. But also because of the design of the game. It's a gorgeous 2D side-scrolling game. And trying to make a game like this nowadays would actually not be as hard as people like to think. And all you have to do is go back and look at the current iteration of Prince of Persia. And I don't remember what the subtitle is, but if you look at that one, even though that's more of a Metroidvania style, it's a gorgeous game. And it's about the closest that I've seen to something like this come out on new-gen consoles. So if they ever wanted to bring it back, or if they ever wanted to do an updated version of it, it would be awesome. The only problem is it's a Disney title. And because it's a Disney title, Disney is extremely territorial about their IP. And even nowadays, when everything pretty much falls under Disney, be it Star Wars, Marvel, whatever, their bona fide IP that they've had since Disney was a company, their original IP, they are mercilessly protective of. So would it be something that nowadays they would want to bring out of the vault and let somebody make a game of it? That's the crux of the argument. And odds are, I prefer to say that they probably wouldn't, which is a shame. But the trade-off is we still have this game, and we have the Super NES game if you like that one as well. To me, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. It's just simply a matter of 1A and 1B. But that is Aladdin, and that is Suckerpunch Sunday for this week. If you've enjoyed the content on the channel, you know how to show it. Quick programming note, we are starting our new playthrough. We are staying in the Super Robot Wars universe, but we're jumping ahead, like we said, at the end of episode 10 last week. We're going to move ahead and play Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden for the PS1 from 2001. I've already recorded about 8 or 9 episodes, I think, at this point, and I'm already enjoying the game a lot more. Both in terms of its mechanics, in terms of its graphics, in terms of what it has for bells and whistles, and because, with some minor exceptions, we're able to try and keep the episodes closer to a half an hour than nearly 2 hours, which we were looking at various points in recording Super Robot Wars 3. Another programming note, we are going to be off next weekend. I have to go out of town for a work-related deal, so I will, and because I have to front-end stuff before I get on a plane to leave, because that's how it is if you have a day job, that means I will not have time or the bandwidth to be able to record episodes next week. But normal service will be restored when I get back in the mid part of the following week. So I do have episodes recorded. I will get stuff scheduled to put out. We won't have a Sports Saturday. We won't have a Suckerpunch Sunday. Also, we are looking ahead, and we will likely be taking the entirety of November off. As I said, I have a big side project that I am looking to get started on. November is the time of the year that is most adequate for me to be able to get that work done. It is fairly critical that I do it, and that does mean I have to focus all my time and energy to that project. Unfortunately, that also means I'm not going to have days to both record and edit material. So me and the crew are going to be taking that time off, especially as we're getting ready to roll into the holiday season. Give us a chance to recharge the batteries and also just kind of get a breather so I can focus on getting that work done. Be sure to follow us on social media through Instagram and Threads at Ronan's Retrocade. Spread the word about us as we continue to build this channel and make it bigger and better. I've done enough yapping for one Sunday. My name is Ronan. It has been great spending Suckerpunch Sunday with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming, happy fall, everybody, because it's right around the corner. And we will talk to you tomorrow as we get underway with our new playthrough of Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden. Bye.